Hello, welcome to another edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at BB King's here in New York City. The founder of modern go-go music, Mr. Chuck Brown, here tonight is performing selections of his latest CD, We Got This. The new CD features bassist and composer, producer Marcus Miller, and vocalists Ledisi and Jill Scott. Last night he just rocked the Jimmy Fallon show with The Roots, and tonight you're going to hear selections from the new CD as well as celebrate some of the 30 years of go-go and also the legacy of Chuck Brown. We Got This. This is a very special CD. I mean, you've got one of the most important bassist producers who on this, and you got Ledisi and you got Jill Scott. How long did it take you to put this together?
Oh, I guess about a year, maybe a little more. Well, it's been almost 3 years since we had. You know, it don't seem like it's been that long since we had that last album out. We're About the Business. It really don't seem like it's been that long because that album is just being played everywhere, every day. And it don't seem like it's been that long, you know. But this one here, I would say, wait a minute, I would say about a year and a half maybe. And I was so happy to do it, man. I was so deeply honored to have Jill Scott, man, that sweet, precious voice she got, man, all that soul. And with Ledisi, man, all that soul she got. And when I first heard Jill Scott, she came out with that genre, It's Love. I heard that go-go beat up under there. I asked my manager, I said, man, please, I got to meet that lady. And we going to do an album or something together. I would like to do something with her, along with that lady, man. So, because I haven't recorded with a lady since Eva Cassidy. And that was a jazz and R&B album that I did with her. She was a great singer, great lady, great singer. But Jill Scott, man, I just wanted to meet her so bad. So when I did get a chance to meet her, we did a thing. I'm trying to think, the first thing we did was she invited me on her show down at the Warner Theater. I think it was the Warner Constitution Hall, and we did. I got on stage and did a little thing with her like 3 days in a row, you know. We did the biggest thing out there at Meriwether Post Pavilion. And after I'd done my show, and I came back out with her and jammed some more with her, you know. And man, I was so thrilled. I asked her if I could, you know, have the honor of doing a song with her. And she said yes, and her manager and my manager collaborated, and they got it together. I'm a little tired right now, but I'm going to be all right once I hit that stage, you understand? And when I hit that stage, I become enraged, and I'm on the right page, and I forget about my age, you know what I'm saying?
What was it like working with Marcus Miller? I mean, Marcus.
Greatest bass player in the world, man. Greatest bass player in the world. Oh, man, he's a marvelous young gentleman, a nice young man, super intelligent young man. I was more than happy to meet him. I met him on several occasions. I met him down in Atlanta, Georgia, and I played with him down there. Matter of fact, he sat in with my band and played with my band down in Atlanta, you know. And I was so honored, man. This young man is awesome. And so I met him again over in Virginia. I went to see his show. at the, I forgot the name of that club. Was it the Renaissance, I believe, something like that. I went over to see his show in Virginia, and he was just incredible. And I asked him then, I said, man, I would love to, it'd be super honored to have you come in and help us out a little bit, you know, do a song or two on our cut, man.
Let's talk about the 70s, the Chuck Brown years, the formative go-go years for you. I remember a story that you told, and this interview I heard you many years ago. You were saying that go-go music was really kind of unexplored. It was a music that you felt, right, and it became something that you just became the architect of.
I just knew it was going to happen. I just had that feeling. I believed in it. I just knew it was going to happen. I played with a group called Los Latinos. I grew up with Joe Manny, Thomas Smith, and Paul Hawkins. Those guys, they were Latin musicians, they're percussionists, and they were Latin dancers also. Joe and I have been knowing each other since we were around 6 years old, 6 or 7 years old. We used to play in the yard right around the corner from me out there in Fairmont Heights. And we used to wrestle out there in the front yard and race each other and all that, you know. So Joe grew up in music too. So Joe had a group called the Los Latinos. Before that, I played with another group called the Earls of Rhythm. My man Jesse, he passed away, God rest his soul, but I got a lot of experience from him. You know, Jesse was a great drummer. And he had another young man that played guitar with him. His name was Irvin, you know. And I thought he, you know, he had a nice little band there. We used to live there on Galt Place, Northeast. And so when I wasn't playing with Jesse, I played with the Los Latinos, and I had to fill in for a keyboard player. You know, it's hard for a guitar player to fill in for a keyboard player.
Right.
A guy named French, awesome keyboard player, but he had quit and got his own band or something for some reason. Anyway, Joe came to my house and asked me to play with him. I said, man, I can't fill in for no keyboard with no keyboard. He said, no, man, you can do it. He said, I know you, I grew up with you. All you got to do is push yourself and get to it. I said, all right. So I believed in myself. I believed in what he was telling me. So I got down with it. I started learning a bunch of top 40 songs, and we did that on that Latin feel, on that funky Latin feel. And so around 1966, I decided to get my own band, but I was still playing with Joe, you know. And I wanted that sound. I wanted to take that feel with me because I believed that it would work. Nobody was doing that in top 40, and I could move on and create something else out of that. So this is what I was thinking way ahead, you see. And them big African congos mixed up in there, you hook that up together, man. You know, I figured it's going to work. So it did work. So that's what I did when I got my own band together in '66. I had a percussionist, Leno Druid. He was the first percussionist I had. And I had Dynamite young man named Kim Boy. He's an awesome drummer. Kenny Scoggins, an awesome drummer. And he played with a lot of big people, Dynamic Superior, and he also played with big bands, you know. People like, you know, those big swing bands. He played with all that, and he played behind a lot of great singers, you know. And so he was with me, and then Lord Pinchback, he's a gentleman that played the flute. And later on, he learned to play the saxophone, too. He became a legend, this young man. And I'm crazy about that flute sound, man, with that calypso sound, that Latin thing, and together. We ain't had about 4 pieces, but that thing was cooking. John Yu was on bass, so another great bass player. He's still playing today, you know. And we did well. You know, I was going to call myself the soul searcher because I was looking. I'm always searching, you know, and the kind of music I wanted to play was Search Your Soul, you know what I'm saying? And then, because they had a gospel group out there called the Soul Searcher, but I didn't know that until I named my band the Soul Searcher. And then, but I thought about it. I said, well, maybe I should call the whole band the Soul Searchers instead of putting myself up front. So I did that, and it worked well. It worked well, and for a lot of years. But later on during the years, people started calling Chuck Brown the Soul Searcher. And next thing you know, just Chuck Brown, but the Soul Searchers are still there. Whoever I decide to put up on the stage is a Soul Searcher.
Go-Go came out at a time when funk music was starting to dissipate.
And disco was taking over. And disco, yeah, we played that too. Because when we were doing top 40, if you didn't sound like the record, and you understand, you wouldn't get many gigs. And if you didn't do some of James Brown, who was the funkiest band in the world, you may not get that gig back no more. That was when we was doing top 40. But when Go-Go took over, we do a song and we just break down into percussion, call a response, get into the people. You know what I'm saying? And they love that. They love that. And we just go, then break into another tune, and break down and talk to the people again. And the beat still goes on. You see, the drummer got to be a very strong drummer to play Go-Go. You can't be jiving, man. You know, and I got some strong young drummer. That young man I got there now.
At 74 years old, what keeps you going? I mean, you look like you acting like me now. I'm 38 years old. I'm half your age, and you still got it. How do you keep it? How do you keep it going?
Well, number one, God. Number two, the inspiration and love I get from my children and my wife. Number three, the fans are of course, my band. If it don't be for the band, I wouldn't have no fans. You follow me? The band has always been inspiration to me, and the new members and the old members, and they're all together have been great inspiration to me. They all have great talent, and they all can play, all of them. And the young ladies that sing, they can sing. You know. Miss, what's her name, Miss Kim, and she just got with us recently. She grew up around the Go-Go, but she sings a lot of other beautiful type of song. And most of all, you know, the fans. My inspiration, the inspiration that I get from the fan is just non-stoppable. And the love that they show us, you know, they're so appreciative, especially the audiences. Everywhere we go and any part of the country, we get love. You understand? And D.C. is the reason for all of that.
That'll do it again for another edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at B.B. King, here in New York City. I'd like to personally thank the godfather of Go-Go, Mr. Chuck Brown, for his time and his hospitality, as well as Tom Goldfogle for setting this interview up. As always, please visit my website, www.thepacereport.com, for my weekly column, as well as my past segments. Until next time, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Peace.